Haven't you and your ilk sold America out?
Tonight, Charlie Kirk walks into Cambridge and collides with 400 students and one fearless professor. What follows is not a polite question and answer. It's a clash of worldviews, Cambridge intellect versus American populism.
To engage with further debate with him.
Wait, hold on. First of all, he's coming on my show this summer, and let me get this straight. I flew 5,000 miles across the world to have you ask why I'm not going to debate a left-wing YouTuber.
From the very first student question, Kirk bristles. Instead of policy, the challenge is about his refusal to face another YouTuber. He pivots to defiance, mocking the premise.
Freedom of speech to ask you a simple question. You seem to be dodging it for some reason.
No, I've debated him twice in the last year, and he's coming on this summer for a long-form discussion. But is this...
Already the audience senses his vulnerability. A packed hall, and Kirk's patience is thin.
Well, you agree murder is wrong?
I agree. Okay, so this is where we get to the question, right? Because what is it about murder you say is wrong? Like, why is murder wrong?
Well, because it's a human being, not just because it has consciousness or because it's of a certain age, because it's a human.
And what is it that gives human being this moral worth?
Not its consciousness necessarily.
Then comes the bombshell topic, abortion. A medical student dissects Kirk's position cell by cell. The debate shifts from politics to biology, to morality itself.
Hold on, time out.
Yeah, I'll let you finish.
Does a zygote have a unique marker?
Charlie, DNA...
Does a zygote have a unique marker?
You have to let me speak. You have to...
But answer it, yes or no. Does a zygote have a unique marker?
Define a unique marker.
He corners the student with rapid-fire questions, but Cambridge does not fold.
This comes from what you define as where life starts. You can say life starts at conception, but I'm telling you, I believe that's just an arbitrary point, right? That's just the moment these two cells fuse. Now, you say about this mother thing. So the way DNA is arranged in a cell is it's arranged in chromosomes. Chromosomes are paired up, so you have one from the mother, one from the father, typically, in a healthy individual, right? Now, you can take those maternal chromosomes out, and you can find that this is who the person's mother is, and you can do the same with the...
A stunning counter. The student rejects Kirk's metaphysics, anchoring morality in suffering.
Where they're from. Can we execute dementia patients because they're confused about their well-being?
Can you imagine a scenario?
Or Alzheimer's patients.
Charlie,
Alzheimer's patients don't really know much about anything. Can we schedule them for execution because they can't?
Kirk tries a brutal analogy, dementia patients versus unborn children. The crowd shifts uncomfortably. The tension is thick.
Imagine a world where you slaughter 1 million babies every year in America.
Charlie, it's not slaughter. That's the problem.
Hold on. If it's a forcible removal from the umbilical cord of another human life, again, we have clarity.
The rhetoric is absolute. But notice, the room doesn't roar with approval. It hesitates. Cambridge is holding its ground. Here's the context. In US politics, this is classic Kirk. Frame abortion as murder, shift to slippery analogies, force opponents into defensive corners. But here, the Cambridge crowd fires back with moral philosophy, medical detail, and calm persistence.
Research and upward mobility, especially through federally funded grants. How do you reconcile this position with the broader societal value that higher education institutes offer?
Now the tone sharpens, a professor-type question, straight to higher education, the very ground Kirk has built his brand, attacking.
Radical school attached. And I think that's very wrong for U.S. taxpayers to continue to subsidize.
But it's not just Harvard. You've called on colleges being a scam. You've constantly attacked.
It's vintage Kirk. Condemnation, dressed in one-liners, but Cambridge isn't impressed.
DNA. College...
Guys, can we... Okay, wait 1 second.
If college is a scam, then DNA wouldn't have been discovered. With cancer research...
Yes, hold on a second.
The room erupts, a direct hit. Kirk's rhetoric meets the weight of history. Newton, Crick, Watson, all born in universities.
experience. Can I please elucidate just one example of that social experience?
Yeah, I was going to answer your question, but sure, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So let's say you're a member of a tribe, and that in that tribe, you have the biological female anatomy, and in order to become a woman in that tribe, you have to also get a tattoo. That's a social experience that's mapped onto biological reality.
So can a woman have a prostate?
Can a woman have a prostate? Biologically speaking, a woman is an adult human female that has a biological reality, but it's also social experience, right? So I don't...
Yeah, it's super easy. Like, can a woman have a prostate?
Gender, feminism, the debate explodes. The students come armed with sociology. Kirk strikes back with blunt biology.
Rich, I didn't know women not to complain 50 years ago. That's funny.
We've always been...
No, hold on a second. Why are suicide rates going up more for women?
I think that encourages...
Forget complaining. Materially, women are killing themselves more. Why is that?
I think that even if both men and women have...
Where Kirk blames feminism for misery, the students counter with economics, inequality, and structural pressures.
Sure, then you can answer without it. Fair enough. Would you agree that it's a good thing that more women get married and have children in the West?
I would ask you, would you say that a sub-Saharan African woman who's experienced female genital mutilation and checks extremely happy in a survey, and I also would check extremely happy in a survey, who do you think would be objectively more happy, even if they both check...
The audience gasps. The culture war lines are now drawn in fire.
Israel versus Hamas. Good guy versus bad guy. Russia versus Ukraine. Who's the good guy and who's the bad guy?
Both are bad, one is worse.
Which way round?
Russia is worse than Ukraine.
Kirk declares Russia worse, Ukraine still bad. A statement that shocks the hall.
That refuses even to face his voters.
Okay, I can't agree with you factually on that at all.
Okay.
I mean, constitutionally, Ukraine is not able to hold an election because it's under military law at the moment, and that...
Kirk insists Zelensky is a dictator. The professor corrects him with cold constitutional fact. The hall roars.
Billions in arms are going to Saudi Arabia, which they're using to bomb and starve Yemeni children. Not sure how that's in the interest of the United States, but it might be in the interest of the $5.5 billion deal his failed sons are receiving. At the same time, this great president of peace has greenlit mass killings not just in Yemen, but in Gaza, where he greenlit an invasion called Operation Gideon's Chariot with the express aim of wiping out the Gazan population. You promised to put America first. Haven't you and your ilk sold America out?
The final question is fire. Cambridge accuses Kirk directly of hypocrisy. America first turned into billionaire grift.
Work if you cut off all your leverage and scream at one party in the Oval Office. Don't you think that has just emboldened Russia? Because look at the approach. Putin thinks so much of your glorious president, he can't even be asked to show up. You have elected, or help elect, somebody who is at best an idiot and at worst is deeply corrupt.
Okay, again, so
line.
Trump and Putin
The
had a 2-hour
hall
phone
shakes.
call today. You'll acknowledge
Even
that's
Kirk,
a good thing. The pursuit of peace
usually
can sometimes be a
unflappable,
winding
shows
road,
cracks.
and it's a lot better
The
than
debate
sending
closes
hundreds
not
of billions
with
of
Kirk
dollars further
dominating,
into the killing
but with him
fields of
surviving.
eastern Ukraine,
Cambridge
something that
didn't just
tragically
question him,
both the
they
UK government and the US
dismantled
government
his framing.
has been
He leaves
unnecessarily
with
supporting for a
applause,
couple of years.
but not
President Trump
victory.
wants to
Bold
see a
rhetoric
brokerage, an ending of
can
this settlement.
collapse under
I pray we
precise
can get it.
questioning.
It's very complicated because the mess that Joe Biden left, which was an active kinetic war with a nuclear power, sending
and
American-made missiles
in
into the
global
interior of Russia.
politics,
So
spin
President Trump
ends
has
the
already
moment
ended a war.
facts
He's
are
ended an
laid
invasion.
bare.
He's only
If you
130 days
love
into this.
watching
And I believe
spin
we do not
collapse
know. At this
under
point, we are
facts,
merely speculating, which I think we
share
should not
this
spend our time
video
doing that, because
and
eventually one of us will
subscribe
be
to your
right.
channel for
I believe
more
we'll be right, and I
fearless
believe we'll see an
breakdowns.
end to this war. On both sides.
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I believe when everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you supported as corrupt, as selling the country out to the lowest bidder, and of doing irreparable damage to a country I'm sure we all deep down love.
The difference...
I think you will have to reckon with that one, Mr. Kirk.